Engineer Libiwa.
Question 14, please.
Mr. Speaker, the main objective of the collective sales framework is to give owners the choice on whether to go for redevelopment. Such redevelopment allows rejuvenation and land use optimization in residential developments. The collective sales framework imposes higher consent thresholds for newer developments. The Land Title Strata Act requires buildings less than 10 years old to obtain 90% consent from owners before allowing the collective sale to go through, compared to 80% for older developments. Of the 40 developments sold en bloc in the past 3 years, 13 were less than 30 years at the point of sale. And that said, most of them were more than 20 years old at the point of sale and were small developments of less than 20 units each. In terms of the number of housing units, around 240 units, or 6% of the approximately 4,000 units sold en bloc in the last 3 years, were less than 30 years old.
Engineer Libiwa.
I would like to ask Minister whether is there any concern on the continuous en bloc sales recently. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I believe we have a framework where the en bloc decisions are, in a way, left to the market to decide. I think and that's the framework we have put in place in the Land Title Stratas Act. The consent thresholds are clearly specified, but there are also safeguards in place. Even if the consent thresholds are reached, the developer will have to submit their development plans to URA for approval. URA will go through the plans, look at the planning considerations, make sure that height, unit sizes are kept to regulations, that adequate provisions, for example, are made for parking. And we have now put in place a new provision, which is to do a traffic impact analysis before the developer gets planning approval. So with all these frameworks in place and safeguards, we would allow en bloc developments to go through if indeed the consent thresholds are reached, if the market feels that an en bloc is economically viable, but there are safeguards and controls in place which I've just described.